as described. Those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're open. Sandy, do you have any documentation and information that you need to share with us before we get started? In addition to that?
No.
Okay, they have met all the
Yes.
okay, so we're ready to go. Did you want to have a few comments? We're prepared with, once the documents are done, we're prepared to move forward with the approval.
Yeah, so this is this would be in my name. Phil is the landowner, and I've been operating Stonecap Brewery now for 10 years on site without any major incidents. We've evolved and diversified our farm to the point where we're trying to stay relevant in today's
Good luck with that. We're all trying to stay relevant. I swear.
And part of the modern day business model, if you will, in the industry that we're in, is you always have to be evolve and innovate. And we feel that this is sort of the next step for us. This is an alteration to the current license that we already have by the state and federal government and by the town. And we've already been approved by the federal government and the state. They've come, they've inspected and approved our layout, our design. Everything is installed, ready to go. We've actually started to distill based on the federal and state inspections being approved. We are just looking to change our retail space in our current tap room so that we can sell what we make on site. And that's what we're asking today. We have been trying to work in this direction. For those of you who don't know, things like whiskey and vodka and gin, you have to build a brewery first in order to make those other products, which is why a lot of other breweries are doing this next step. And we don't want to apply for just a general bar license or a pub license that you guys have given many restaurants in our town over the years. We think we can make a better product, and we wouldn't want to sell anybody else's stuff. Our track record is that we take a lot of pride in making the highest quality products that we can. We sell our own grass-fed beef, our own milk. We are now making cheese and butter. My wife would have been here, but we're in the middle of making about 700 pounds of butter right now, and she just couldn't leave, and I'm supposed to go right back after the meeting to finish with butter production. I never knew that I'd be a butter and cheese maker.
There you go.
The brewing thing, I saw coming. I still brew the beer 10 years now, and so I have a team, but I am the head brewer, and I will be the head distiller. We currently employ roughly, I think we have 62 people on the payroll at the moment. So we are one of the largest employers in town history, maybe behind the school district.
Definitely behind the school district.
I mean, yeah, but
that doesn't count.
I know, not really.
It does count, but what I'm saying is that we're really proud of what we have built, and I represent a team of 62 people that all live locally, that depend on me and Phil and family to succeed and continue our business and to expand where we can. That makes sense for us, and that's why we're here today.
Okay, do we have any questions from members of the board? We see no questions. Would move approval of the request for the permit alteration. Okay, Margot, do you have a comment?
No, I just had a question for the alteration of existing area of brewery. What does that mean?
It just means that, so we're not changing anything, we're not putting on any building additions whatsoever. It's just that the state requires that we ask our town to be able to alter our current pouring license to allow
Stuff beside beer.
but stuff besides beer, yes.
Nothing else changes.
So do we have a motion to approve the permit and license for the alteration of the Stone Cow Brewery LLC?
Yes, I make a motion that we approve the alteration of the license for a new farm and distillery pouring permit license to Stone Cow Brewery LLC, doing business as Stone Cow Distillery, located at 500 West Street, Barre.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to authorize the permit as requested. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Looks like a vote. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks
so
for the,
much.
And Sean, a lot, big changes from when you were writing articles coming in my public health office in Templeton many years ago.
Exactly, so, yeah, work with you and Dr. Marshall.
Of course,
and-
yeah.
and we were
Things have
really,
changed.
and we really worked, Phil, at trying to talk him into staying with us. I'm just saying.
No, you did.
We
and,
did, we did.
I cherish those years. that
And
I
we
worked
did-
for both the newspaper, and you were so good to me, and you were so good to me at the school. I worked at the high school for 12 years, and
I may have sent you over here for an article with Phil and
yes,
Molly.
you did. You
See?
did. And this,
I may have been the
you
matchmaker,
set
Phil.
things into motion.
Phil, I may have been the matchmaker, because I sent him over to write an article years ago.
Yep.
All I gotta say is we also tried to do the same thing for Phil's wife. We were desperate when she came,
Yeah.
thrilled when she stayed with us, and sad when she left.
Yep.
But she was great.
Well,
Guys-
we don't take it for granted, and we just thank you for your support.
Well, your
You
family's
guys-
been great
working
to,
with the
to
town,
the community as well.
The decisions you people make are very important. You think 10 years ago, when they made the decision we could make the beer, that's changed the farm from 4 employees to 60.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
And it's just been a great thing for the community and for the farm,
yep.
delivering land and keeping the farm going.
Yep.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
Have
Thank
a-
you.
Have a nice evening.
Want a motion to close the hearing?
Yeah.
Putting the notice in the newspaper, that's just our check.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a,
There's an invoice
do we have a
in there.
motion
Okay.
to,
If it goes
to close the hearing and begin our work on the general agenda, please?
I'll move to adjourn the public hearing.
I'll second.
We have a motion made and seconded to adjourn the public hearings. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Moving along. Okay, where did I just put my stuff here? Yeah. Okay, moving along to, we have to approve meeting minutes vote. We have June 10th, 2026. We motion to approve the executive session minutes from June 10th, 2026.
So I move that we approve the executive session minutes of June 10th, 2026, not for release at this time.
I would second
We
that.
have a motion made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes from June 10th, the executive session not for release. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on, June 15th.
I move to approve meeting minutes June 15, 2026.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes from June 15th, 2026, and I believe those are all for public release.
Full public release, yep.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
June 29th, you've had the minutes from that meeting, and I seek a motion to approve.
Yep, I move that we approve the select board meeting minutes of June 29th, 2026.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes from June 29th, 2026. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. June 29th, 2026, executive session meeting minutes, approved by the board, but these will not be for release. Those in, for a motion, please?
I would move to approve the minutes of June 29, 2026 executive session not for release.
Second.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes from June 29th, 2026, executive session, but not for release. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, moving along to reports, town administrator updates. Oh, do we want to do this, gentlemen? I think, okay. Discussion and approval of National Grid's request for a grant of extension. Is that you?
Yes.
Okay. If you'd introduce yourself and,
My name is Phil Griffin. I'm here for a easement from the town for 2 guy wires that are gonna be going on, I think it's pole 19 and pole 20 down on Main Street,
down in South Barry?
down in South
In
Barry, yes.
South Barry area?
Yeah.
Okay. Do either of you have any, need any further information as far as the location?
So I've talked to Mr. Chipman a couple times on the phone, and my understanding is these are gonna be on pole 19 and 20 and traverse over the canal and anchor on the other side of the canal, is that correct?
Yes, and here's
Yeah,
a profile.
There's one here?
Where's the long guy? Where?
Yeah, yeah.
In here? Oh, in here.
They called it, you call that a stream, do you?
Yeah, well, canal. It's a-
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
what, 25 feet. Mark? Is the footing for the pole not large enough, or?
No, what it is they're relining relining, putting heavier lines up
Oh.
and things like that, and it's on a curve, so they need the guys, otherwise the poles are gonna start leaning with the weight, and if snow gets on them and
Yeah.
wind and things like that, they tend to tip over or
Mhm.
lose power, so. It's for the stability of the poles.
And the anchor point on the other side of the canal, that's the town of Barre land?
Those two are, yes.
Yes, and then the other two you dealt with the homeowner,
Yeah.
the landowner?
The other, I think it was 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a request for that particular easement, and it has been reviewed not only by the individual members of the board, but others, and so do we have a motion?
Yep. I make a motion that we grant the easement to Massachusetts Electric Company as written and presented to us tonight in the document that we have in our hand for pole 19 and pole 20.
I second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to consider National Grid's request for a grant of easement on pole 19 and pole 20 off of the Canal Road. Those in favor?
All right,
I think we're good.
okay.
I think we're gonna be
We're
signing
gonna
something.
sign, and then our
Grant
town
is
clerk's
easement.
gonna,
I think, is the town clerk coming up?
she's right here.
Oh, gosh, she's way
She's
ahead.
ready to
of us.
go.
Ahead of us, always.
Is she a notary? I'm also a notary, so,
Can't notarize your own stuff.
well, I notarize for their signatures.
Yeah.
What was it, the town, what was it,
That's why they have.
stay, okay. Ellen, you want me to fill in the date, or is that, you do that?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yep.
There's something on this page, do we have to sign? I think that's Ellen's. That's Ellen's.
That goes with it, I think, yeah. Come unclipped.
This goes on top.
Yeah, and I think this is what you need, Ellen, is the one with the blue tab.
I need
Yep.
both signature pages. The other one requires the
I gotta
town
sign
seal.
that. Let me
and
sign it.
One
You can-
requires the notarization.
Okay, here's the document with the 3 select board signatures.
Yeah, this one requires our corporate seal, which is the town seal.
Should we make a copy of this?
Huh?
Should we make a copy of this tonight?
Yes.
Great, Melanie. I'll take care of it.
It's like, are you got to be kidding me?
Because you gave me the seal and everything, so I figured that was the correct one. Okay.
I gave you everything she gave me,
But it was the wrong stuff.
so I'm gonna have to look at it.
Oh, yeah, well,
Cause she sent me everything and I sent it to you.
yeah, but it wasn't that. It was about, it was the green circle one.
I just said, sorry, I will get back to you on this. So I'll look at the email she sent, the email I sent you, and then we'll look at it.
Okay, then.
We're like, this thing is never gonna go away.
Oh, well, if that's my biggest problem tonight, that's nothing. Thank you, Ellen.
You're very welcome. I guess I'll go make copies.
Okay, we'll just wait for Melanie. Oh, shoot, it'll just be quick. Oh,
It was
Oh,
like,
it's-
four- no, it was, yeah, it was about like 9 to 10 hours.
Yeah, Mark, I second.
Yeah.
No, Mark motioned, I second. Yep, yep. It's all right, vacation's coming. You need a break. Don't relax.
It's less complicated that way.
We skipped over this, well, we can go back.
Oh, yeah. No, hopefully we'll be escaped from that.
Yeah.
Pretty soon. We have to wait. Yeah. Just making copies of those documents.
Sorry, I ran out of paper in my printer. Took a minute.
Would you like me to call and give you the voting page when I record?
Yes. Please.
Okay.
Okay.
I should be recording.
Okay.
And
All right.
these are the originals.
Yes. Yep. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Where are we?
You.
It's you, my friend.
Okay. All right. So, it's been like a month, I think. So, department news. Accounting. So, we have officially started using Vadar. We are still in SoftWrite for our last warrant, which was today. I am still waiting for our end of year transfers because we just did the warrant, so accounting is working on it. Hopefully it's here by 6. And I sent an email out to all departments to just please be patient with the conversion to Vadar because although we're still using it, we still have to get everything from SoftWrite over to Vadar. We can't just roll over beginning balances and everything else. It's gonna be a work. It's gonna take at least a couple of months to get everything straightened out, so I've just asked
We've been
everybody-
waiting 6 years, so
I
a
know.
few months, not a problem.
And with how much work it is, this is why nobody wanted to do it before, because it's an enormous undertaking to do this and do it cleanly to go forward. So before I get to the DPW, because I don't want to forget veterans, the veterans did not make it on this list. Sandy, I'm going to give this to you though to upload with the thing. So our VSO Garrett Skinner has been working with Dennis and the American Legion to do a Purple Heart Day,
Oh, nice.
which is going to honor our Purple Heart recipients and their families in the community. It's going to be August 7th at 9 a.m. at Barre Plains. And they are going to have keynote speakers, Leith Erickson, the U.S. Marine Corps Purple Heart recipient, and retired Senator Stephen Brewer. They've secured Paul Varney for performing taps, and the American Legion Post 2 performing a color guard rifle salute. They have a new Purple Heart flag that they'll be raising underneath the American Prisoner of War flags. and grave marker-sized Purple Heart flags were also purchased. And I encourage everybody to go and look at the Veterans website, the Veterans page on the town's website, because Garrett does even a newsletter every month. He has all kinds of information up there. It's really well done. He's done a fantastic job, and I commend him. I commend Dennis and the American Legion for doing this. So hopefully people can make it. I will not be here, unfortunately, but hopefully it sounds like it's going to be a wonderful ceremony.
Sounds great, yeah.
So on to the DPW. We have awarded a contract to PJ Keating for the road work for the following roads: Fruitland Road from Worcester Road to Old Coldbrook Road, Town Farm Road from South Berry Road to 36 Town Farm Road at Fire Hydrant, Williamsville Road from 146 to Farrington Road, Williamsville Road from Valley Road to 146 Williamsville Road. So those 4 projects should be starting soon. We don't have a date yet. We just got the signed contract back today, and their liability certificate and their payment bond. So I want everybody to recall that we had to redo all of this because Mass DOT decided to enforce their pre-qualification program this year. So we had already done the procurement once. We ended up having to redo it again. The same thing went for the pavement marking, because that's also falls under pre-qualification. And that was awarded to Atlantic Pavement Marking, Inc. out of Connecticut. I sent them their contract. They haven't sent it back yet, so I anticipate by the end of the week they'll have that sent back. In the pre-qualification process, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but it adds a lot of steps to the procurement. So you have to apply for the pre-qualification approval of the project. Once their approval is given, then they have to approve your advertisement. And then after they approve the advertisement and after you do the bid, then they have to approve your apparent 3 lowest bidders as well. And you have to wait till you get all of their approvals back before you can move on to the next step. So it's quite the process. And then you also have to submit to then interim and final evaluation reports of the contractors as well. So there's a lot to it. And all the procurement results can be viewed on the town administrator's page of our website. I'm starting to put everything up there because I get so many emails about it, so I just send them the link there. So if anybody wants to see it, it's all there. And there's been a lot of social media attention around potholes. I know every town is suffering with potholes. No matter what town you go through, you're hitting potholes and patchy roads. But I do want to say that due to the unavoidable cost throughout FY26 and the budget constraints that we have towards the end of the FY26, there just wasn't money to buy the coal patch to do it. But now that we have a new budget in FY27, we're getting the coal patch and we're taking care of it as best we can with our 4-person team, while they take care of everything else that they need to do too. So in the police department, Sergeant Davidson and K9 Barre recently responded to a motor vehicle accident involving a young woman. Seeing that the young woman was upset, K9 Barre went and gave her some love-ins, sat on her lap, and gave her some kisses, which made her feel a lot better. So her father reached out to Chief Sabora, commending the department for having Barre, and was very appreciative of the K9 on scene. So I have a whole list of meetings that I went to. One in particular, the STAM annual meeting. I had reached out to individual members of the board because we were a case study for the Office of the Inspector General. We're in his booklet and everything for all of the issues that had arisen at the DPW previously, under the previous DPW superintendent. So that was quite astounding to see that. So he didn't mention us by name, but after he gave his presentation, I of course raised my hand and I thanked him for him and his office for sending all of the feedback, all of the recommendations, all of the guidelines that we then had to follow, and told him that it's made a very big difference.
And I would say I worked with them very closely before your arrival, and they were extremely helpful.
Yes, yeah, they have a great team. They have and interestingly, I think I told Mark, Heather Monroe, who had applied for that job, is now working for the Office of Inspector General.
There you go.
So everything worked out fantastically.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So what else do I have for meetings that interest. Ooh, I don't know. So public records requests, we've had some vendor, 1, 2, 3, it looks like they were looking for, just for vendor information, nothing in particular. We had a request for the FY24 audit, which is this close to being done. I sent in our action plans, our corrective action plans, which I'm happy to say I think we've corrected everything except for one item, which is fantastic. So as soon as they approve that and send it back, I will throw that up on the website. It's not that I'm withholding it, I just don't have it. And then for grant, we are closing out, we're trying really hard to close out a lot of our grants. The master plan grant is closed out. I've sent in everything that for the reimbursement. The Green Communities grant is closed out for the new, we don't have new ones in here, for the new mini splits that we have in the building. The park grant, we're working diligently to get that one closed out. It's been very difficult because I didn't start these grants, I didn't open these grants, so I'm working with what I've got. So it hasn't been the easiest, and poor Maureen has been trying to help me so much on one of the grants.
Well, I've had a couple enjoyable days in the sun.
We did, CMRPC has been working with us for the rural development grant for the zoning bylaws update, and we were granted an extension through the rural development grant, just because our needs and our zoning bylaws are so great, and CMRPC also had some changeover in staffing, so that was granted to us. Actually, they gave it to us through the end of FY27, but we probably won't need that long. And then with the CDBG grant, we're doing RFQ reviews for work. So procurement, I already did the roadway, the pavement marking. I have bids out there now for the DPW materials and for vehicle fuel. Both of those are due July 27th, one at 10 o'clock, one at 11 o'clock. And then hopefully we're done with procurement for a little bit anyway. And then just general work, annual renewals of stuff. Oh, I've started drafting the FY28 budget and the schedule, in the annual town meeting schedule. So I already have that. I had Sandy double check it for me, made a couple of adjustments, so that should be ready to go very soon. I think that's it.
It's a good report.
Sam.
A lot going on.
Thank you very much, Melanie, for your help with that. Select board comments, questions, concerns?
So last Friday, Select Board Member Mark Reginas, Town Administrator Melanie Jackson, and I attended a meeting at the Quabbin Reservoir.
Oh, I forgot that one.
Pardon? With the Secretary and the members of the Mass Water Resource Authority Board, and the 16 communities that surround the Quabbin Reservoir were represented, and we each had 5 minutes to speak to the board members. I did address our well concerns in the town of Barre and our need for water, and other towns did that as well. New Salem is in desperate need for water. They have PFAS out there. They have some really serious issues that they've been dealing with. And there was a lot of discussion about pilot, the payment in lieu of taxes, and how little we get for all the lands that they took for watershed. So a lot of communities are really driving home the need for them to step up and pay us on some kind of formula
Yeah,
for the land that they have in our communities.
which is a lot.
The senators and reps, most everybody was represented there, and they all spoke as well. So it was, I think, a productive meeting. I think we were all heard. We'll see what the outcome is from that meeting, but thank you to Mark and Melanie for attending, and I spoke on behalf of the town.
I was surprised New Salem, 80% of their land is Quabbin.
Yeah, it's a big,
That's huge.
it's a big number.
Petersham is huge.
Yeah, that's,
Hardly.
yeah, I don't think anybody from Petersham was there to speak, but New Salem had 3 people.
Yeah,
And 80% of their land being tied up in pilot payments,
and,
that's huge.
and very, very minimal payment, quite
Yeah.
frankly.
Yeah.
I believe there's like $3,800 an acre, that's what they said, Rich? Something like
Yes,
that,
yeah,
which was like extremely low.
Yeah.
I'm surprised it's that high. It should be,
yeah.
if it's based upon, okay, what the going rate for purchase land is, and so if you look at pilot land in Wellesley, It's huge
Big-
money,
Big dollars,
5
yeah.
and 6 times what we get,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
So much developable,
Exactly.
developed,
Yeah.
crazy amount of land,
Yeah.
so it's so much higher.
yeah.
And lastly, I just want to talk about, I spoke to Tim Batcher, our DPW superintendent in town. There's been some concerns about the road work and potholes and whatever, and he just reiterated back to me that pothole patch was not being done from the third week in May till June 31st due to no money to buy road materials, and Melanie spoke about that. This happened due to extensive snow and ice spending. Having discussion with the town administrator, it was decided to not spend any money on anything unless absolutely needed, and that's true, because I was involved in discussions with Melanie and had a conversation with Tim on the phone about that at the end of the year. We just needed to tighten up the purse strings. We were out of money and could not spend, or should not continue to deficit spend. And many other departments were in that same position as well. It wasn't just the DPW that were told to tighten up the purse strings and stop spending the last month and a half of the fiscal year. On July 1st, Tim notes that he was able to buy hot top to start fixing potholes properly instead of cold patch, which is just a temporary repair and doesn't last or stay in the holes. He says he totally understands the frustration of the road conditions. His crew works hard every day to fix the problems across town. Their work load is very tremendous. There's only 4 of them. He wants to remind everybody there's only 4 DPW workers currently, and they're all trying to get things done in a timely manner. This is not a new problem. It's been going on for years. The roads didn't all just turn poorly over the last year and a half, and they are working on a plan, and Melanie detailed, we've got contracts signed, and we're going to get some road work done.
Yep.
And it's ongoing, so he just wanted to reiterate that he's aware of it, and they're working to the best of their ability to address these concerns quickly.
And Tim's meeting is, first meeting with, PJ Keating is on Tuesday as well.
Oh, good.
Very good.
The ball rolling.
Yep,
It's great,
it's good news.
great. Do we have anything else from this select board, Merit?
I'm good.
You're good? All set? Thank you very much, Rich, for your updates. Looking at new business, discussion of well number 2 and review of new siting study. I know that the new siting study has been made available to us this evening, but some of us have had opportunities to see it and review it because it was also provided to us as part of the DPW commission. It's a very lengthy study, a lot of, in my opinion, rehash of old data.
Mhm.
It's not a lot of new information here, but obviously it's of critical import, and lots of questions that we would really, that I have for Tatum and Howard, and also the impact of DEP and what can we do, what can't we do. We have a ton of land that they have indicated, okay, is in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that could potentially be sites for us. And then, you know, going through the process of how do we get access to that land. There's very little in the town of, that the town of Barre owns, you know, enough in one area that is really helpful and so forth. I think there's probably the biggest spot is up by the old reservoir, but that is not, you know, that is not what we'd hoped for, because certainly we think down in the gravel plains of South Barre, probably where the large aquifers are. But anyway, I know that the DPW is looking at that information as well, and the siting will be of import for us. I know that there's some opportunity to potentially do some, you know, shall we say, cleaning up the water through, you know, work, but I think we've got well one is really in tough shape.
So I know I did talk to David last week, Chief Water Operator, and he said that Ty and Bond helped him submit a grant for remediation of well 1,
Okay,
which would be fantastic.
it would be.
And then I met with CMRPC and Stephen Ellis. Where is Stephen Ellis working? I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank, I can't remember. Regarding MTTA grants, and don't ask me what MTTA stands for, I do not remember. But there's a possibility of one of 2 grants. One, I requested, can we try to get a grant for some of the site studies, because
Mhm.
it's at least $50,000 per site. And then the other grant, I was wondering if and I think David and I are meeting with them next week when he's back from vacation. Then the other grant I was thinking of was to doing, an entire, workflow plan for a new well, so that we actually have a
Yeah,
plan in
plan.
front of
Right.
us, going forward. So we'll discuss that with them next week. And then Senator Durant's office had sent out requests for economic development
Mhm.
wish list. So at the top of that list was up to $250,000 for site well studies, and I let them know it's $50,000 per study.
Mhm.
So hopefully one of those two avenues, and I know Insight Meditation Society had also said that they would be willing
To help
to
out.
help, as they can, as is appropriate for them to help, so.
And I know that any treatment, I think the treatment of well one is probably necessary in addition to,
Yeah,
The new well.
I agree,
so, I mean.
because well two is failing.
Yeah.
And so if we can get a filtration plan at well one, that'll take care of the minerals that's causing the problem, I believe, in that well. But we still have to address the failing of well two.
You think it's failing? I mean, you don't think that the remediation that's planned for the fall is gonna do it? Who knows?
We're hoping,
Yeah, we're hoping.
we're hoping.
Well, anyway, big jobs and,
Yeah.
you know, big,
And-
big impact to the town for sure.
And one of the proposals is pumping well three, more gallons per day, which I'm not in favor of.
We can't
That's the-
ask for more for well three.
No, well three is the only really good viable well we have in the town of Barre, and I would be adamantly opposed to increasing the pumping of that water, because we're gonna pull in contaminants, minerals, things that, because we're just pulling more water through the aquifer, through the gravel. And if we mess that up, we're really done. Like, I'm just not, to me, that's not a viable option.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, we can't, whatever option we choose, it's gonna take time to actually
It
execute.
is, yeah,
That's the thing that's scary, because none of this is like, oh, we could do it in 2 weeks, or
Right.
3 weeks, or even 6 months.
Right.
It's a process, so,
and Melanie spoke about the test at each site that they've identified in
yeah.
that report, $50,000, that's a
At
a well
least.
company coming in and actually drilling down to see if those sites are gonna yield
yeah,
how many gallons.
yeah. And,
So you can spend $50,000 and not get the yield, and then that site's no good, but you gotta keep moving on the list that they've identified.
mhm.
So it could be very pricey to get that one spot that's gonna give us the gallons we need.
Well, hopeful, we have the right people working on it, and
Yep.
we
Yeah.
have our water department. DPW, I know, is meeting on the 20th, I believe, and they are going to be reviewing, I think, the site study in more detail with us.
Agreed, yeah.
Can I make a request that we move the I'm assuming that's why you're here, for the fire wages?
Yeah.
Okay, can we move that
Excuse me.
up, just so he doesn't have to sit
If
through?
we're pretty
everything?
much done with the well siting study discussion, I think,
Well, you can stay
Well,
after if you want, but,
There's gonna be more at the water
Yeah.
meeting on the
On the
20th, and the DPW meeting following.
On the 20th.
Discussions on
Yeah.
this study.
so, more to come. If we could just quickly, to move down to personnel wage authorizations, there is obviously wage authorizations that need to be approved by the board. Instead of just doing the fire wage authorizations, let's do all of them that are requested there. Wage authorizations under H, personnel, FY '26 wage authorizations for the fire department, the on-call employees for the fire department. We have a substantive list that's been made available to you and is available to the public upon request. Could I have a motion to approve?
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve the FY '27 wage authorizations for the fire department on-call personnel as presented to us by the fire chief tonight.
I will second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the wage authorizations presented by the fire chief, and thank him very much for being here. I know how busy you are, and it hasn't, we haven't had you run out yet to get on an
No.
ambulance, so I'm feeling like, wow, it must be vacation for you.
A side note, in the past, we've done all of these individually, I just wanted to, so, I just didn't.
We can
I don't know
certainly,
if I mean,
We
I
can-
don't care, I just wanna know that's,
I mean,
that's what we've done in the
Yeah,
past, so.
they're as presented. If you'd like me to
As
read,
presented, no,
if you'd like me to read
I'm
them into
good.
the record, I'm
totally
good.
with
I'm
it.
good.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's gonna be in the packet, so.
In the packet,
yeah,
I am good with it.
okay.
Okay,
You're right about that, but,
That's a long
Yeah, I
list.
just, you know what I mean?
yeah, it's a long list to read.
It is, it's too long.
So as presented, we approve the list as presented by the fire chief and approved by the fire chief. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Looks like it's a vote, chief.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here, and thank you for all you do. I mean, I sometimes I wonder
You're
what your
doing.
your
You're
day
doing
is
it.
like. You're doing it, but it's, and you, I think we are looking for the new employee for fire inspector, correct?
Put out for the new day position, which is.
Good.
They're gonna help with inspections.
Well, yeah, and that, those, those inspections need to be done and are also recoup some funding.
Yes,
doing
yes,
that, so
hopefully
that's good.
We'll have a second person, so
Yeah.
when there's 3 on duty, there'll be 4 with me, so
Wow.
we can staff that second truck.
Right.
That'd be great.
Right now, with Rutland and the Shades that are doing it.
When do you expect the new ambulance?
They told me winter.
What now?
This winter, they said.
Oh, this winter.
I asked again, we were down there because the other ambulance had a recall, and I just happened to catch our salesman going, and he goes, oh, no, the winter, the timeline I told you, I'm like,
Yeah.
good, holding you to it, like.
Right, right.
We have had a couple of people, like, A1 fell, the old A2 fell into the hole, the old sump in the station this weekend.
Oh, boy.
So Tim was gracious enough to come out and fill that with gravel for us. And that
Okay.
way it's not just a metal plate over part of our garage floor, so
Okay.
hopefully we don't have something like that.
Well, we're gonna get to that, building committee again soon.
Yeah.
Once someone gets,
We understand down there that it's a lot of money.
Yeah, but we-
Same thing, like you're looking for a site for a well, it's $50,000 just to set up plans for a building, not having a site is.
but if we don't start, we can't finish.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks again. Moving along also, from the
Thanks, Chief.
Thanks, chief.
a library assistant Isabella Hill, library assistant, step minimum 8 hours per week at $18.77. And Frederick Gehring, part-time police officer, and very first step, and he varies as needed, so he, I guess, fills in as the chief finds it necessary, and that's at $28.54. We need approval of those 2 items.
I move to approve the wage authorization for Isabella Hill, the library assistant,
Mm-hmm,
$18.77 an hour.
mm-hmm.
And you wanna do this together with Barry?
Well, at your discretion, sir.
Okay.
If you'd like to make an individual motion, we look for a second.
Second,
We have a motion made and seconded to approve Isabella Hill, library assistant at $18.77. Those in favor?
aye.
Frederick Gehring, part-time police officer, do we have a motion?
Yeah, I would like to approve the wage authorization for Frederick Gehring for part-time police officer at $28.54 an hour.
Second,
We have a motion made and seconded for Frederick Gehring, part-time police officer at $28.54. Those in favor?
aye.
Okay, so now we're back up to some consideration for details about the,
Vote the police chief
I'm sorry?
to sign police detail.
Yeah, I'm up there. The vote to authorize the police chief to assign police details for the July 28th special election, which is the hopeful approval of our purchase of the 10-wheeler for the DPW department, which is badly needed. So can I have a motion?
Yep, I move we vote to authorize the police chief to assign police details for July 28, 2026 special town election.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to authorize the police chief to assign the appropriate details for the debt exclusion votes on July 28th, 2026 at that special election. Those in favor?
Aye.
Consideration to vote regarding the rollover of unused vacation time for the DPW superintendent and the town administrator. Okay, obviously, they have had unused vacation time due to the number of hours and days that they have been required to work due to the volume of work that's placed before them. I commend them for being willing to do the amount of overtime that they have done and have not been able to take vacation time as a result. So we like to roll over an amount of unused vacation time for both the DPW superintendent and the town administrator. Melanie, do you have a number of days that we're talking about there?
I know, I do, did Kelly ever give you Tim's, Sandy? Do you know?
No.
Oh, I don't know what Tim's is then. I can look, do you want me to go look it
Well,
up before
I
you
think,
vote?
I think that as requested.
Okay,
because-
I think mine is like either 46 or 56 hours.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
used a lot of mine. I tried to use as much as I could.
Okay, so as requested and reviewed by the town administrator, that we would, the number of vacation time, which is probably, I don't know how much it is for Tim, but obviously we understand and appreciate that they have worked well over any expectation that we had the right to have. So, could I have a motion?
Yeah, I would move to approve the rollover unused vacation time for DPW superintendent and the town administrator.
Second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the unused vacation time for the DPW superintendent and town administrator as presented. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I thank you very much, and I'll thank you on behalf of Tim as well.
Trust me, we appreciate it, so thank you.
Very much.
Okay, FY end of year transfers.
It's not 6 o'clock yet. We gotta wait for the
Okay, so
FinCom,
that-
and I don't have it yet.
Okay,
All right.
so we'll be
We got
waiting
other
for the
stuff to do.
finance committee to come in. Will we be doing that jointly? Traffic control unit annual reappointment. We have a list of gentlemen, and I don't know if there's any women on it. I don't believe there are, but,
Yes, there are.
oh, there are.
Yep.
Okay.
Right there.
I never see a woman actually.
Oh, yeah.
Christina, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so we do have a list of individuals who would like to perform the traffic control during, times when it's necessary. They are hired by outside contractors, actually, that's where they're paid from. They're not paid by the town of Barre, but we are responsible for ensuring that the people we recommend have specific training that's required. So we have a list, and, do I have a motion to approve the list? If somebody would like to read the list, that's fine too.
I mean, that's like the other one, as
As
we have
presented.
it, put it in, so.
It'll be appended to our minutes, of course.
Yeah.
Right.
So, those in favor of the list as presented?
I would move to approve the, reappointment for the traffic control unit as presented by the chief of police
Yeah.
and here at the list.
We have a motion?
Yep.
Second.
I'll second that motion.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the list forwarded to the board by the chief of police to appoint the traffic control unit officers. And those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, then we have an annual employee. I would ask someone else to do that. I would abstain from that vote.
I make a motion that we appoint Whitney Marshall as Monty Tech School Committee rep for the town of Barre.
I'd second that.
We have a motion made and seconded, and those in favor?
Aye.
I will abstain. Okay, contract extensions. I believe I need to make another phone call to R.J. McDonald regarding pricing on fuel oil. When do we enter into a contract, or do we get ourselves bound to, or just say we'll pay as we go? It's very difficult to say what is a good decision at that. So we'll have further conversations with the R.J. McDonald.
It looked like it was heading the right direction
It
until
was
the
for a
other day.
while, it was for a while. Crack sealing industry, we need a contract extension for that.
Yeah, so that was given back to you because I believe that the first time they had the wrong date when they signed it.
Yeah.
And then Sandy, I think, had said that Rich had made the motion that it didn't change, but it changed slightly. So I just wanted to make sure that it was clear. If you look on the right
Yeah.
side there.
1571.
Yeah,
Okay.
just so that it's clear that it did go up. I don't know if you can read those numbers since you have it right in front
Of
of you.
course I can read them. Sure.
Thank you.
So I move that we extend the contract. Where's their name on here?
Indus up at the top.
Oh, Indus, with Indus, for crack filling and rubber crack filling at a price of $15.71 for fiber crack filling and $24.77 for rubber crack filling of our roads.
I'll second that.
We have a motion made and seconded to approve the crack sealing contract with Indus. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, We probably will go into recess now for a period of time as we,
Did you want to do public comment?
yeah, okay, we can get back to public comment for a moment, and then we'll go into recess until the time frame that we'll be working with the Finance Committee to go through end-of-year transfers. So, is there any public comment?
Two questions, please. First one is for the Barre well study. I'm interested in, where can I get more information about that?
I would say attend the meeting on the 20th, okay, which is with the DPW and the Water Department. They will be discussing that. I don't believe that this siting study is on, publicly presented anywhere, I don't think.
You'd have to ask the water.
I would say
commission.
it will be available to the public, I would say, after the DPW meeting, on the 20th.
I mean,
You've
technically
been
it's-
attending those.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
public.
public
Yeah.
document now. I just don't know if they
Yeah.
have it posted anywhere,
Yeah,
So,
because it's water
Okay.
commission.
the engineers are expected to be attending that meeting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Second question I have is, I know that Bridge Street's out not on the town, it's for the state. So the question I would have would be, if I have questions about, the expedient the repair of Bridge Street, where should I go, or what meeting should I attend? to
well, what do you
ask-
mean, for the one that's on Valley Road?
Yeah.
Well, you can certainly, there is a portion of the state that's I don't have that on the top of he came here and did a very lengthy discussion. So we can get you a name, but, I mean, we have been with our, certainly working with our representatives, and they were gonna allocate $150,000. It just doesn't touch the,
No,
doing the bridge. So, that's gonna be, from our perspective, the state is saying, okay, FY '29, maybe. I wouldn't go to bed and say yes for sure.
Yeah, so the question I'm having is, a lot of local people that I talk to, the first concern is the wear and tear on the vehicles of going up into town and coming back down again.
Yep.
Second concern is.
It makes a very busy uptown, there's no question about that.
And then the second concern is in the mornings, we have the 18-wheelers that are trying to navigate 62, and they're coming through and they're having troubles navigating around the Barre triangular area as well. Third concern they had is, if one of the arteries around the center of town, also one of the streets goes down, what's the backup plan for that? And that was another question I had, so I'm trying to see who I can talk to, probably either state senator or state rep, talk to those meetings and say, what questions can I forward to them that they can tell me that I can answer my peers, is what I like to.
Well, I mean, certainly, I would certainly indicate if people ask you that, they really should go to the DPW meetings, because those people know very much, they're very much in touch with the people who would be managing the bridge project. You can call Senator Durant's office or Representative Berthium, but they will tell you to go back and talk to us. It's really the state that's, providing this time frame for when bridges will be, fixed, is, I would say, weak. They told us they were gonna be moving much more quickly on the little bridge that goes up by by Felton Field, is that?
Yeah, it's the
Okay.
graveyard Felton
Yeah.
Field.
And, I mean, they are pretty much behind schedule on that one.
Right.
And if they say FY '29 for us, I wouldn't
knows?
I wouldn't say that is gonna happen for certain. I mean, there's no question the uptown traffic is busier than it generally is, because we do not direct the trucks away from it. And everybody else who used to just cut across that Valley Road section to go on 62 on or off, obviously they don't do that anymore. Buses are turned around, school buses, they go halfway in and turn around. So there's no question that there's a traffic issue. 18-wheelers going through the center of town, it is what it is, and there's nothing much we can do about it at this point.
We tried to get switch, because Old Colebrook is slated to be
Yeah.
replaced before Valley, so we asked the state to switch the scheduling. Now the asphalt plant is closed, and it's two different buckets of money, it's two different projects, so basically the answer was no.
Yeah.
So I'm, the last time we had the town meetings, I asked you about Bridge Street at the time, and it was a state issue. So, I'll follow up with DPW, and then at the meeting we have next week, I'll talk to them, and then I'll ask them who to direct me to ask them questions.
Well, it would be Senator Durant and Representative Berthium.
Perfect.
They would be the individuals that would be able to speak to the money issues and what could be allocated. But there are state people that they will tell you at DPW, give you some names of individuals who are working, on bridge projects across the Commonwealth.
Okay.
And there are so many bridge projects that it's a bit difficult to get in line.
Yeah, I mean, some ideas I could maybe use to like convince them, maybe like the census, I can knock on doors and say, do you need your street, and like present that to them maybe, as an idea. The third question that I had for the town clerk was, increasing registration and voting for the town of Barre. I like to campaign and make sure that all the candidates, that are gonna be on the voting ballot for the voting year for 2026, even though it's a small town, I think Barre's a really good location for, having like hosted debates and hosting like talking, just because we're centrally located and we can bring in people from all over the state. So it's a combination campaign of increasing how many people are eligible to vote and then register to vote in the town, to have the highest proportion of eligible voters to registered voters. And the second thing would be to increase exposure of the town itself by being able to host, so say like political debates, or say politicians come by and campaigning here.
Yeah. Did you go to the representative, who was it, who came to our, to the, come on, McGovern? Representative McGovern was there last spring, I believe.
Yeah, Jim, he's a congressman. He comes in, he brings us coffee and donuts. I've been to a few times at the Barre Senior Center. He comes in. I've been able to talk to him a few times. I'm also a veteran, so I talk to him about city issues as well. He's available. He's good to talk to, and I like that he posts where he's going to go on the state as well.
So he's been to Barre before. Senator Durant, and Representative Berthium have been to the town, attend things in the town. I know that they go to the schools committee and have discussions with them as well. So as far as increasing the voter interest in registration, that's a town clerk question. I wouldn't even be able to tell you exactly what proportion of our town census she feels is accurate, because it's self-reporting, unless it's the 10-year census done by the government.
Yeah, and that was the question I had. So I could maybe do like a campaign for increased voting registration. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and then the Barre Historical Commission. They did a great walk for the Prince.
They always do. Yep.
Great meeting. And then the tree ceremony as well was 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
I attended that one as well with the retired state senator.
Yep.
He gave a speech.
Yep.
So those are both. I gave him credit, and I got a walk through. On the walk to the Prince graveyard, though, we got lost in the sense of the mess of traffic. So I've been promised a follow up on that one.
Oh, good.
So that's been pretty great. So.
Okay, thank you. Matt?
Yeah, it may have been discussed at the time, and I probably missed it in the prior meeting, so I was just, could you explain the 6-hour window for the next election, why we're only doing noon to 6?
I would suspect and suggest that the conversation was probably pretty minimal, pretty limited, and certainly the recommendation was primarily some financial, and probably it was something that was recommended by the town clerk.
Right. Yeah, she attended,
Curious why, there are a lot of people that don't work in the town, that getting back to vote by 6 is.
Well, I think
very
we can-
difficult, and I thought 6 was an odd time to stop.
You can absentee
It would've been better to the 8.
You can absentee.
ballot right now. She did come and attend a meeting. It's a financial thing because we have multiple elections. And our budget's only so big, and to pay workers, police department, after that block of time becomes time and a half or double time. So her recommendation to this board was that we reduce the hours to try.
But still have absentee ballots available.
Right. So people can vote right now, absentee ballot,
Some people voted today, I saw them.
or attend the polls, but it
But we
was a
did-
financial decision, and she made the recommendation based on her budget and what she has to do for the ensuing year.
Well, because we have the
Yeah, you've got
primaries, and then we
yeah.
have the
Right.
other, yeah.
She's got 4 elections
Yeah.
this fiscal year.
Correct.
in April.
So we took her recommendation and went with it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe we are ready for.
Well, we need Melanie.
We need Melanie.
Melanie has some numbers.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're,
Working on it, I just came from her office.
Okay, thank
we're
you.
very close to
Yeah.
those numbers, and so I do see the finance committee members here. So if we want to just kind of get together up in this area, that's great. And we can
Excuse me.
hopefully move through the process of line item transfers as necessary. Bring up chairs or?
I'm new, I'll sit back here.
We'll just have to open your meeting.
Yep.
if you've got enough, do you have enough?
Yeah.
Okay. Here she comes, potentially with,
So, we're gonna have to go old school with this. So, I'm very worried about the accountant, well, the accountant's mother. Because we had the conversation, she would have it to me before 6 o'clock. I have not heard from her, she's not answering, so I don't really know what's
she's the
going on.
one from
CBiz.
CBiz.
Yes, so, and I know she had an appointment with her mother today, so I'm actually very nervous. So, that being said, we have one of two options. Well, you guys haven't even opened your meeting yet, so let's wait till 6 o'clock.
Yeah, we gotta
Then we'll
close
go
ours.
over our, yes, then we'll, no, you could, you
Oh,
stay
we'll
open.
just
No,
stay
we're
in
staying
session.
open. It's
You
on
stay
the,
open.
it's on our agenda.
And then we'll go over our one or two options, and that'll give me time to get set up to have one hell of a night.
Hmm.
Actually, you know what? I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm gonna go back to the side.
I'm gonna use the restroom, then if we get a break for a second.
Okay, so you're all good to go? Lori, I'm Melanie. It's nice to meet you. Yes, you are. You can go up there with your people, wherever you want to sit up there. Finance Committee, this is Lori, your new member.
Oh, hi, Lori.
Nice to meet you.
Matter, good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Nice to meet you.
Eric Shag is over there.
You can have the no chair.
I got this one.
Some people might say that chair's the good one. He just gave me the bad one. He's like, here, have the padded one.
Right, is it gonna break when I sit in it? Is this a setup? This new girl gets the broken chair?
America.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. Lori, yeah.
How's life in Worcester?
No better than here.
Really?
No worse, but.
No, same old, right?
Yeah, you just add 3 more zeros in the numbers, but it's
Yeah.
still not
Same.
enough to do everything you need to do.
Yeah. That's for sure. And everything you wanna do, and everything that everybody expects you should be able to do, right? That's the hard part.
And then the random things that just come from the state and say, oh, you figure it out.
I know. Well, election year too, so that'll be interesting. I mean, but I don't know if there'll be a lot of changes in the State House in Massachusetts or not. It doesn't appear that that's the case, but one never knows.
You don't know.
You just don't
It's
know.
interesting. Good question on that.
Yeah,
I have no feel.
me either. I thought it was gonna be just no, but I don't know.
That's where I'm at. I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
So let's see.
Okay, did we open?
I'm opening right now. It is 6:02 on Wednesday, July 15th, 2026. I'm gonna open the Town of Barre Finance Committee meeting.
Welcome to the Barre Finance Committee, and we'll be working on the part of our agenda which is called FY26 end-of-year transfers. It appears like Melanie has, from somewhere, gotten the numbers.
No, I have not.
Oh, she has not?
I have the numbers, but I haven't gotten the numbers. So, here's the thing, as I said, I'm actually very worried about her accountant, her mother actually, because I have not heard from her, which is very, very unlike anybody who works for CBiz. So, that being said, we can do one of two things. We can, as typically, not be in compliance. Or I can run through all of our deficits. You can vote to do the general fund transfers to fill the deficits. And we're gonna hope that I'm right going from the warrant from the BVA that I've just pulled up.
That's the best we can do, I would suspect.
That's the best we can do. It's going to be painful.
Yeah.
So, because I'm gonna have to, luckily, yesterday, cause I was trying to get an idea of where we're at, so yesterday, before the last warrant was posted, I went through and did a handy dandy little chart for myself. So I'm just going to cross-reference this with the warrant that we have now, just to try to figure out where we are, make sure that we're where we're supposed to be.
Okay,
Right. And everybody understands, today was the last day for the warrant, So
Yes, so
we're
it's
at the
been
11th hour because
11th
people could submit
hour.
up until today
And,
to
and
pay
as,
last year's bills.
and as Elizabeth had said, that if she had been here when she did the warrant schedule, she would not have had a warrant this week for FY '26. So, this should not happen again, as Sue can attest to, because Sue was asking why. This is our assistant accountant, by the way, Sue.
Hello.
Murray. So yeah, so this is gonna be a painful process, so, and hopefully this will never happen again, but please just bear with me, we're going to get through this so that we are in compliance, because we all know how I am. So,
Could you define compliance and mean
very easily, I can, yeah, so.
when we fell out of compliance?
So by law, you have to do end of year transfer votes by July 15th. Historically, you've done them August, September, October, so you've always been out of compliance. So last year, or this past year, I said, no, I cannot sign off that they were done by July 15th because they weren't done until September, October, I can't remember. So then we had to raise the deficit on the tax rate recap instead, which threw everything out of whack. So, hi.
Is there a re-
Are you a new finance committee member as well?
Yes.
And what's your
Come on
name?
in.
Sarah
Yeah.
Galen.
Sarah, yeah.
Found
Did you
the
get,
right place.
did you get sworn in by the town clerk?
That's right, Matt, you're the
I
finance committee
think
now.
she's downstairs.
Okay.
If not, you can come up, you just can't like vote or anything. But if she's that, should be downstairs and she can swear you in.
Deficit.
Oh.
You were allowed to start making those changes in May and June.
Who's we?
And when I was on the select board, this was always done before, because I started pushing like, in May, you should know what's in deficit, what's not, or what's gonna be. And
And
that's when you
somewhat.
direct departments, stop spending, transfer,
Okay.
clear it up, and say, that's all you got.
Can we just, because this is gonna be a very long
So I
process.
thought, my point was, I thought we were out of compliance right at May, and it's
No.
still been that way,
No.
because we've been in deficit.
July 15th is the end of year transfer deadline. That's it, that's the law. That's the
Well,
rule.
that's why I'm asking.
Yeah.
I was,
I think you can start
You
as
can.
early as May, but.
You can, but why would you?
because you should know at May if you're gonna be in deficit or not, like, you've only got a month and a half left to spend.
I disagree,
And-
but that's okay.
Okay.
I mean, I would watch the budgets all year, and in January, you start to know what's, that's all I'm saying, I'm just asking questions.
Well, it's
I'm
just-
not saying I asked a question about that because I wasn't sure if that meant you were legally out of compliance, that was my point.
Y'all always have been, yes, but now you're not gonna be. So, here we go. First one, select board expenses, that is over by $2,106.13. And as we had discussed during the budget hearings, it was underfunded because it was cut by like $5,000. And I have no idea how that number even came up. So the next one, and I'm only reading the ones that we are deficit in so that you can vote to do a general fund transfer for the deficits.
From where?
From general fund accounts that still have money in their account. We can go through after and I can read all the positive ones as well, and we can all sit here and do the math for the next 3 hours. Or we can know that we are just transferring from positive general fund line accounts to negative general fund line accounts.
Well, I don't think it's his decision, so I think.
Just
No, it
like-
wasn't brought, I understood what she said, I had nothing
Yeah.
to follow up on, I'm not
Okay.
trying to fight you, I'm just trying to better understand the
Yeah.
situation, because that's how it used to be presented, is here's your negatives, here's your positives.
Well, that's basically what she's doing.
And,
Right. We would've
and
had
I get
that.
it, she doesn't have that to present
Right.
yet, so
Right.
that, I'm not pushing it.
We would've had it.
I
So-
was just asking to
Yeah,
better
so I
understand.
so that we can be lawful, I just need you to vote to do a general fund transfer to fill the deficits in the general fund. That's it.
Yep.
But I want you obviously to know what the deficits are. So as we go through the salary accounts, you're going to see that some of the salary accounts were overexpended a little bit, and that is because of the way that payroll had been entered previously. So going forward, everybody in FY '27 has a salary sheet, they know exactly what they're supposed to be getting, not gonna happen again, we just have to fill it and deal with it for this year.
And previously
Okay.
goes way back, doesn't it?
Yeah, so previously
your
is,
time.
Way back to when?
Yeah.
To
yeah,
clarify, way back,
Yeah.
what year? Can you prove that this has happened? How many years back?
Pete's sake. So I don't know how many
Because
years
he's
back.
telling me it was 5 years ago.
I don't know how
Did
many
I say
year-
5 years?
Okay,
That's when I was at the
okay.
I
select
asked.
Can I just get through this, please? Okay? So I don't know how far back. I did not look back at years. I know it ended at the end of December,
And I'm-
maybe even before that, because I looked at the salaries and said, this is not how you do it. Okay? So, moving
I
on.
was just curious for clarification of his comment.
Okay, so executive assistant salary, $300. The next one,
What was the select board over by? Select board expenses?
$2,106.13.
Okay.
Accountant salary, because you have to remember, we hired CBiz to come in and fix FY '24, FY '25, and then pick up FY '26. So the accountant salary is $13,000. Can you hear me okay, Eric?
Yep.
$729.64. Assistant accountant salary, which we had addressed in meetings because the assistant accountant had gotten permission from the accountant to work more hours than she was actually budgeted for, unbeknownst to the select board. So that was over $3,751.86. And, sorry, I just have to make sure that I'm correct here. The next one. Administrative assessor salary over by $50.68. Treasurer collector salary, and you have to remember, we had somebody leave that we had to pay out. We had Mass Munifin come in for, 3 or 4 months, to do a lot of cleanup. So that one is over by $69,140.25. What is this one? Assistant treasurer collector salary, and this one is offset by the assistant treasurer salary who left. There was still just over $5,000 in there, and she took on the work of the assistant treasurer, so she was paid more. So that one was in deficit by $2,719.62. And then we get to legal, which we are in deficit of that one changed because we did a journal entry, $35,484.63. And a lot of that was public records requests and open meeting law complaints and all kinds of fun stuff. The next one is IT expenses, which I believe we had increased for FY '28 because I knew that we had not funded it enough. That one is deficit by $7,360.54. Vital statistics, and don't ask me what that's for, I don't have a clue. That one is $1,468.36.
It's town clerk.
Well, I know that, but I don't know what it is, so.
Just say town clerk. Third party birth certificate.
Registrars, what did you say, Dave?
Third party birth certificate.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times that's the way to do it.
Registrars by $680, but I know that there's another registrars that's over, so I don't know why we have 2 registrars accounts. I think it was over. All right, the next one. And thank you for bearing with me. I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. The land use secretary is over by $239.95. I'm not sure how that one happened. Custodian by $645.79, though I suspect that some of that is mileage reimbursement that went to the wrong account. Would be my guess. Henry Woods Building by $29,404.69, which I was very clear when we were budgeting for FY '27 that we did not budget enough, and we still did not budget enough. We are budgeting lower than we know we need to. But we will look at all of the items for Henry Woods building from FY '26 and see what we can do.
What was that figure again?
$29,404.69. Oh, are you doing an Excel spreadsheet?
No.
Oh, I was hoping you were.
If you send me those minutes after, I will make her a spreadsheet. There's nothing.
I'll just update,
Nothing
I'll
I love more
update
than
mine,
a
it's fine,
spreadsheet.
but.
You're my kind of girl.
Town hall building, again, I said it wasn't funded at enough, I think it was cut or something, but that's in deficit by $5,569.02. And there's not much we can do there because that's just lights and heat.
Jack the Run up.
The next one is the public safety building, and that's in deficit of $13,212.03. And that one is from the police department, so I don't know what the cause of that is. Regional planning assessment, $41.72, because somebody didn't put in the right appropriation amount, the right assessment. Town report, $94.81. Not sure what happened there. Lieutenant salary, and I think that these are posting issues. I don't think that he was overdrawn. I suspect that somebody else is in his. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 26, 27. I am assuming that somebody else ended up in his line item. Because his is $1,027.11. So that's a lot for just an error at the beginning of the fiscal year. But I will star that one and look into it. And again, this one has got to be a posting error in here. So some of these are probably going to be journal entered out as well. And I suspect Elizabeth has probably already done it. I don't know, like I said, what happened to her. So I apologize. But, so the police administrative assistant, $5,589.77. But I can tell you, it's probably the police chief that got posted in there because he has a surplus in his. So it must have been a posting error in there somewhere along the year. So we will look for that. So then the next one, I did that one. Police part-time. Is that what it's called? Police part-time salaries, I think, $1,854.36. Police education, $2,250. Police special events, $1,080. And I just remind people that the chief had warned that the cuts were more than the department could bear, so. Police purchase service, $687.61. Are you all sworn in?
I am.
Well, welcome. You can come sit up here with your people, and you can either drag a chair to the table or sit with Matt and Zach.
Sit right here.
Police supplies, $44. Let me just double check this one. $44.23. Armory, $1,557. Police training, $1,835.36. Am I going too fast for you guys? You stopped writing?
I stopped.
Okay,
I
you're
can't
good?
keep up.
I can't keep up.
I was trying.
I'm gonna email you tomorrow and say.
I'll send you the list.
It
I'll
doesn't
send you the
seem
list.
good though.
I'll send the list. It's not good. And I warned all of you that the end of FY '26 was gonna be terrible. I warned all of you that this is not gonna be pretty. Police tuition, $1,322. Cruiser maintenance, and this is because we had to pay for the cruiser, pay for part of the cruiser outfitting probably, and then we're getting reimbursed by Stetson. So there is a deficit of $22,577, but I don't think it belongs here.
Yeah.
because it's being reimbursed. So I have to check with accounting on that one as well, but as it stands, that's the deficit.
That's one of the revolving accounts, right?
No. So he paid for the outfitting out of his expense, and I don't think the reimbursement went back into his expense. So when they were reimbursed, instead of going into a revenue account, it should have gone back into the expenditure account, and it did not.
Yeah, 'cause we got payment on it.
Yeah, so I just need to look at that one, but as it stands, that's what it
So you
is.
suspect that they're already reimbursed, you wouldn't have to
Yes.
reopen the books?
Yep, yep,
Okay.
yep. Yep, cause I remember seeing an email come through about it, so I think it just got put in the wrong place, so. Fire chief, and I know that this is because there are two different fire chief accounts for some reason in here, so I have no idea why. I did not set up this, and this is why it's great we're going to Vadar. So one fire chief account is in deficit of $5,131.29 because it got hit on that account instead of the other account. So it doesn't really count, but it's still in there. Fire longevity is in deficit by $3,950, so clearly we need to look at that when we
Guess we're
start
not funding
budgeting
that
again.
enough, yeah.
Yep. Yeah, see, and these fire chief accounts are all messed up, because this one is in deficit by $26,543.59. So there are multiple accounts that are getting drawn from for his payroll. So this will all get straightened out, but this is what it is right now. So these are just gonna be journal entries that Elizabeth will do to clean it all up. But I have to read it, cause we're here.
Is it possibly because the actual ambulance and fire kind of both fund portions, so they created two
Well,
lines, so
and
fund his
that's-
salary that way?
And that's the problem. So we have a fire chief salary, a fire chief salary, and a fire chief salary. So, who knows?
That's how the DPW superintendent always looked.
Yeah, yeah.
Water, sewer.
Yeah.
But there are at least 3 different departments, so they typically hit those departments. I have no idea what's happening with this accounting. I really don't know. So it'll get cleaned up, but right now it's a deficit. So I think when you guys, and just so I don't forget, when you guys do make a motion, I would make the motion to transfer from the general fund or do journal entries as needed. And or do journal entries as needed. And I would think that that would cover us to do it. So, all right, so the next one, and thank you for hanging in here with me. Alternate building inspector, $250. Again, I think that's misposting because we have a couple of alternate building inspector accounts in here. So the next one, animal control, $494.37. Again, that's because somebody did not budget for the new year's assessment. I think they used the old year's assessment. Hold on, I gotta scroll through all these expenditures. Sorry. Expense accounts for ambulance are very long. Okay, DPW superintendent, $6,276.29. I am unsure until I go over it with Elizabeth if that is overtime from his MOU for highway issues, or if that is a posting issue with the sewer and the water. So that we will look at. Fuel, we are over by $21,362.46.
Is this fuel, police?
Vehicle fuel.
Vehicle.
And you guys weren't here, but we actually have a fuel bid out, that's due the 27th. So hopefully we'll get a decent rate, though, doubtful these days. So we'll go from there. Highway admin, and that's not the administrative assistant, that's the account. I don't know what highway admin account is, but that's $5,400.70. The barn account, $6,500. Hold on, before I read that, let me make sure I'm not lying. Why is that set up differently? Oh wait. $6,576.74. Machinery, $40,276.97. And I can tell you that part of that machinery, maybe a quarter or a third of it, is from our lift that we had to get serviced and repaired because of the Department of Labor standards. We didn't have much of a choice. Street lights, we are over by $7,747.76. And you will recall, I believe I upped that for FY27 because I knew we weren't gonna have enough, and I don't think I upped it enough, unfortunately. Board of Health stipend, we are under by $50, which I'm gonna have to look at that because that's odd. We're on the last page. All right, COA director, 20 cents. Library director, $948.52. Library assistants, $494.45. Cataloging librarian, I think it is, I'm sorry, I abbreviated a lot of my stuff, $173.83. Assistant youth librarian, $402.68. Library utilities, $3,844.97. Library expenses, $2,687.42. So I can say that the utilities and the expenses, as long as they pertain to the building, actually fall under me. So I'll keep a better eye on those in FY27. I didn't think about it for FY26, but now I am. So, commons and cemeteries, I think that's what that is. Expenses, $1,022.72. And Medicare, let me double check. Oh no, that should be fine. Medicare, $9,076.69, which I think we also increased, but I may not have increased it enough. So I do not have a grand total for you because I was going for an average of pluses and minuses. But those are all, I can run and do them real quick if you'd like.
Don, you got all that, right? Every line item.
But then
every
again,
penny.
the grand total isn't gonna really matter because some of these are gonna be journal entries with corrective entries. But those are all of them. Does anybody, now that we've gone through them, does anybody have any questions about them? And I can go back and look. Yes.
The Town Hall, Henry Woods, and Town Barn.
Yes.
It was primarily due to changing the electrical rate in the utility bills.
So.
Or were there like major equipment repairs, other things that slipped in that you just had to deal with?
So Town Barn, I can't really speak for because I don't know what's charged to the Town Barn account.
Well, I know the town barn, we had to fix a lot of repairs of the salt shed.
The salt shed.
Oh, the salt
Yeah.
shed,
Which
that's
was,
right.
which is,
Roof.
I forget.
That was like 8,000 something.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
That was
So
quite
the-
expensive.
And then the town hall, when we were having our budget hearings before, I had already made it very known that it was underfunded because just the electricity and the heat is more than what it was funded for. Henry Woods Building, again, the same thing. I mean, we pay all of the electric and the heat out of that account, so we need to look at that. We need to look at, actually, we're gonna look at, once this is finalized, and we're starting to build the budget for the FY28 budget, I'm gonna itemize everything in the Henry Woods Building, and we're gonna go through it with a fine tooth comb, just to see what we're paying for electricity, what we're paying for heat, what we can try to reduce somewhere, you know, cause of repairs to the building and everything else, so it's a lot, that gets stuck on that budget, just like the select board budget. So like, the select board budget is definitely over, because of advertising. We did so much advertising for procurement, for jobs, for everything. It just eats the budget right up because advertising is so expensive. It's ridiculously expensive.
I know that the library had some HVAC issues of consequence.
Yes, so
The
I
circulator
did
pumps, and I
talk
know
to Director
that's a
Hood,
problem
and he
there.
said that there were issues that had come up during the year that they didn't expect, which is why theirs were over. And they had staffing changes and everything else. So, and like I said, some of the personnel stuff is because of the way payroll was entered previously, the way that it was broken out in Harper's, because what you enter on spreadsheets is not always how it comes out in Harper's. So anyway, I'll leave it to that. Do you have anything else?
No, I was just big picture. It's something that the town knows
and we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna itemize a lot of the expenses, at least the ones that I can possibly do, and really see where the money's going, especially for the buildings that we're looking at, because we need to, and I've talked to accounting about it before, like say taking the Henry Woods building line and then putting in 2 additional lines, one for electricity, one for heat. So that we look at that and we know that this is our total budget, but this is what we're spending on these 2 items. Because just to keep a building open, you wanna know what you're spending. You know, like the town hall, when we start really looking at that, it might not even be worth it to keep it open, you know? When you're looking at cutting positions or closing a building, I mean, these are choices that we're probably gonna have to make in the future, so.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not, hopefully not. So, and I have no idea where we really are, like free cash wise. Unfortunately, with this budget versus actual report, for whatever reason, there are articles that are in here, like all the assessors' articles are in here. So when you look at the bottom line, it's not an accurate bottom line, because it's not just the general fund. There's other things in here. So I won't know until after we do the final transfers.
When do you expect that to
we
be
bring
wrapped
everything
up?
up.
August?
We are a mess, so I would suspect that CVIS is going to do the towns that they have flowing well first. So I would say mid-September.
Okay. That'll be,
Because they're gonna do the schedule.
That's very early for
They will
what's been
do the
happening in the last
Schedule
several
A.
years here.
The Schedule A will be done before September 30th.
Okay,
So they'll have to have everything done by then.
okay.
So, yeah, I would say mid-September, but if I were them, I would do my clean towns first and then deal with us.
Yeah, and I would suspect then, probably a November special,
I'm hoping October.
October, great.
We'll see. I'm waiting for a schedule from Ellen to give
Yep.
me dates of when she can do them, so I'm hoping October.
Okay.
I would like to just get that done and then move on to annual in May.
I know this is probably very obvious to all of you, but we had a lot of personnel changes by design. And some of those weren't, they were costly at times, legally and so forth. So, and however, they were the best decisions we've made, I think, with your help.
You know what, we've come a long way financially. We still have a long way to go, and
Yeah.
FY28 is not gonna be a picnic either. I'm looking forward to FY29. I'm skipping right over FY27 and 28. I'm looking forward to FY29. We still have a couple of messy years ahead of us, because we still have, we still have to get through FY26. FY27, we're going to be working out the kinks from FY26. FY28, we're finally gonna start to be able to build everything, and then FY29, we should be like,
Yeah, well, okay.
so.
Well, it's a plan.
We live in hope. We live in hope.
Positive, be
It's a plan.
positive.
I'm trying to be positive.
Optimist.
Yes.
I mean, hey, if it happens by September, I have been nagging about budget, wrapping them up, and I'm still nagging usually in February. That's how sad that is.
Yeah. So I will send this out. I wrote all over this one, so I will, PDF my Excel thing, and I will send this out to you guys. And I will let you know what was journal entered with corrections, and then what was left from there. But I think that this would it satisfies me as far as the law, so I'm hoping that it will satisfy DOR as well, as far as that legal requirement goes, to have it done by July 15th.
What is the actual, motion we need to vote tonight?
So I would make a motion to approve the year-end transfers and or journal entries for FY26 as presented.
Okay. And that would be, the board would vote its vote and the,
Yes, you'd
Finance
both have
committee
to,
would vote.
and I think that would satisfy DOR. Understanding that I think that there has been an emergency, and we don't have the actual list, but.
so we'll,
Has all,
entertain a motion.
can I, just ask if, some of these are big percentages that are, it's a deficit, and big,
Yeah.
big percentages
Yep.
of the that, or to control that?
So,
For the department, or move it around individually?
yes.
Or the next time we make a budget, we're gonna be using these new inflated numbers?
No.
I don't know if they're inflated, or, it didn't seem like there was a check on them, as for what is real, you're not sure what was really in.
So, as I said to somebody the other day, I think historically the budget in Barre has been a suggestion. Because when I look back, it's always over expended. You guys have always had a very long list of end of year transfers. So I am working on, I haven't gotten into it yet, I am working on doing a form that departments will have to fill out requesting to transfer, say, from the machinery account to the town barn account, if the town barn account doesn't have enough money in it, okay?
So
And
that would be the manager of the department.
the
that would
account,
do that,
yes,
right?
the department head would fill it out, the accountant would have to sign it, verifying what funds are in each account, and then I would also have to sign it, acknowledging that, yes, they are transferring this money. And I think that's one piece that has been missing, is that although I can look at it, I think historically, and I don't know if you agree, but it seems like the budget is a suggestion of this is what you spend, but then everybody just kind of overspends. And accounting just lets it go.
That's how it's been run?
So-
Every time we come up with a budget based on these numbers,
It's not adhered to. Yeah. So, but in the department head's defense, the budget is not enough. The budget is not adequate. You know what I mean? It's just not. Like I said, I mean, we overspent on Selectboard because you cut it by $5,000. How could you cut it by $5,000? How could you cut the town hall? You're not even funding enough to keep it open. So how could you cut it? You know what I mean? You were deficit budgeting already. So it's not really the department head's fault. It wasn't budgeted to even be open. You know what I mean? The street lights are what the street lights are. We can't control that. So if you're not funding
Shut her
enough,
off.
if you're not funding enough to pay for the street lights, it's not Sandy's fault. We just didn't
I
budget
would
enough.
say anything.
You know, I mean, it's very difficult. It's
I'm looking at this blade,
and
it
that's
just seemed.
no, I know.
I thought these budgets were what we worked for.
And it's
people went for them. To hear you say that it was fictitious, it
A
was
suggestion.
imaginary for years,
that's what I've seen, that they've been overspent for years, but it's because
Maybe we
it's
could rephrase as lack of accountability.
it's just not funded properly. And if you don't fund it properly, what's gonna happen? I mean, look at our pothole situation. Tim ran out of money. So I told him, you need to stop spending. I mean, you saw how overexpended he was. You need to stop spending. Well, now we're in trouble because we stopped spending.
Yeah,
So you
six
can't-
weeks, we didn't fill potholes, we had no money.
You can't win. You can't win. You're either not doing what people want you to do, or you're spending too much money. So we really, and that's one reason that I did the department budgets the way that I did, having 3 years of actuals, what was budgeted in the current year and what's wanted, because you need to see those actuals. You need to see what was actually
That's
spent.
what I assumed, that
Yeah.
it is actuals, and that we're working with actuals,
Yeah,
because you did that.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I,
So it's gonna take a couple.
So these percentages seem kinda high.
Well, this was the FY26 budget. This wasn't me. Don't look at me.
I'm not saying that.
You can yell at me next year.
No.
Yeah.
Do we know what last year's final number was,
What do you mean?
as far as the deficit
The total deficit of all the departments.
of all the
that you
departments
say
last
were
year?
unneeded
It was-
transfers?
I don't remember. 80, no, it was more than that, because we were allowed to transfer some, and then we had to raise over $80,000 on the tax rate recap. I don't remember I only remember like the $80,000, because that ate into our overlay, and then we had to have the article, and it's a snowball effect.
I apologize for not doing my homework. Can
That's
you
okay.
just give me a little bit of background on you? I love what you've said so far, but you definitely seem newer to Barre.
Yes. So I've been here since the end of August. I don't know what you want to know about me. You can ask me anyway.
Well, mostly that, like how
Okay.
long have you been here?
Yeah,
and
so
when
I've
you
only-
sort of stepped into the
Yeah,
process.
so I stepped in at the end of August to a complete mess,
Mhm.
more or less, I would say. And it's been a process. We had to close actually, we still haven't even finalized the audit for FY '24. We were in the FY '24 audit, hadn't closed FY '25. I'm already in FY '26. Yeah, it was quite the process.
Yeah,
So
We've had big turnovers in
Oh.
our town administrator for
yeah,
Well, I mean, we were paying $1.98 and we got $1.98 worth of credentialing. And you had, I think, since I've been here, I was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6, okay, town administrators. Came and went. So after, because you guys had hired Jessica, and I think she was here about a year and a half for me. And then we had Greg Balakonis for probably 6 or 8 months. And then we had somebody else, and then that person's, stayed barely a year and gave her notice to leave like 6 months, and that 6 months was Greg Balakonis again. And I mean, so it was very difficult and then we had a substantial issue of personnel concerns and so forth that had to be remediated and so forth. We had those concerns in the treasurer's department, in the accounting department, in DPW department. And I will tell you, there were days when I said to myself, my God, because there was just no digging ourselves out of the tumult.
Well,
And,
thank you for the work that you're doing, and I
Yes.
think that you are still here in 2029.
I don't plan on going anywhere. I may get fired someday for my feistiness. I don't know. I'm very grateful that because I was a treasure collector for a lot of years too, and did a little accounting. Accounting is kind of boring, but so I'm just glad that I had the knowledge to be able to look at everything and to be able to help out. And having CBiz here, I can't even begin to express the amount of work that they did in such
To
a
straighten things
short
out.
amount of time, so that DOR would not withhold our state
Well,
aid.
and that's money well spent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
So barring this bizarre evening where I can't get a hold of her, I can't recommend them enough. So.
So we don't know at this point right now as of tonight how much money was not spent in the
No.
budget?
No. Like I said, that report has so many other things that aren't general fund in it that I can't just look at the bottom line and guess, which is why I was trying to do my spreadsheet. But even that, I wouldn't want to hazard a guess with that.
I was just gonna say, just glancing down the list of numbers, there's at least $100,000 that was spent on personnel issues, treasurer, accounting, accounting assistant,
And legal.
and then another 35 in legal, which are
Right.
things that you don't hope to repeat.
Right, exactly.
So, I mean,
Right.
that's hitting your budget this
Exactly.
fiscal 26, but it's not like you're gonna have to budget for that next year.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal. Then do you have an idea of the accounts that are over, have surpluses?
I do, but I'm not gonna read through all of
No,
those.
so that's the other half of the story, is you do
Yes.
have a handful of.
Yes, we do. We do have that are surplus. So a lot of them will be transferred from the surplus
Right.
over.
Yeah.
And I think that, no, actually, I'm not gonna say that. But, so we do, for all of the minuses, we also have a lot of pluses.
Right.
So it's really, once she does the journal entries with the ones that I identified that I don't think are correct to begin with, once she does those journal entries, then she can go through and figure out where everything's going. And I will send all of that to you guys. I'm not trying to be like shady and not have anything. But we had to do it today because I need to have that date.
And additionally, we're still working, the auditors are still working and cleaning up a year previous to your arrival.
FY '24.
Yeah, and we believe
2
that
years
there's
to my
potential there for free cash even.
No, that's done. That's done.
Okay.
But that's
That was the 400,000.
That was the 400,000.
Yeah.
So there was back in FY '24, when they were doing the audit, they found a little over $400,000 that we had on the bank side and not on the accounting side. So when Mass Munifin was here, they were like, oh yeah, these are all the months. This is the money of the months because they went from cash book to accounting. And said, these are the months, this is the money in these months that are missing. So then I went through and I ran all the treasure collector reports and all the accounting reports, and found all the discrepancies, so I knew where the money should have been posted to on the accounting side. So DOR allowed us to count that as money, as income, because I was able to say X amount went to FY24 real estate, X amount went to motor vehicle 22. I was able to identify within $2,000, which is pretty damn good, where that $400,000 belonged.
Yeah.
So we were able to get that, which helped us for free cash for this year.
Yeah.
Which was tremendous. So
Yeah.
there's no hope from
For-
FY24,
No hope for
FY25. I think all of our revenue is accounted for, so I don't know what trick I'm gonna have next, but hopefully
Well,
just smoothing everything out
yeah.
is going to make a difference. So with all of the positives that we have still left, from expenses, and I mean, I know that I read off all the negatives, but like select board stipends, I believe Rich and Mark, you don't take your stipends, right? And Maureen donates hers, but she takes hers, but there's money left there.
A pump
My-
and signs this year.
My salary, because there was, a lapse, there's a few thousand there, your reserve account, the assistant clerk, or the assessor clerk, I don't remember, assessor clerk, I think. There's money there. The assistant treasurer, like I said, treasure collector expenses, tax title, IT service, we overspent in expenses, but we have money in the, IT service in there, that's almost $8,000, which I think is gonna go away because we
You overspent.
no, because they upped our
Oh.
assessment.
Yeah.
So we're looking at like postage, we had money left, which I am not reducing that budget because postage is going up again, what, August
Mhm.
first?
No, it went up already.
Oh, already, okay. You can tell how much I mail things, so, yeah, so that already went up, so that's staying. And then, like I said, even though, like the police administrative assistant, I think that's offset by the police chief, so there was a lot of things. Fire salaries, there was still $15,000 left in that because they're on call, so I mean, you wanna fund it at what
Right.
you could potentially, but that money does come back. Fire training, yeah, so I mean, there were a lot of accounts, like health insurance, and the health insurance, I don't wanna give you this figure because I know, but it's probably about $100,000 in health insurance because it was funded, we didn't have a mechanism to know exactly how much we should fund it, so I can't blame anybody for that, because unless you know how to run the reports and payroll, you're not gonna be able to do it. So that we actually have now, I have a whole spreadsheet, I gave it to Shelby, so every year we can fund appropriately, even though the cost of health insurance is going way up. So hopefully, once all the transfers are done and the journal entries are done, hopefully we will have a positive. I've never had a negative, so I don't know what to do with that, but I'll have to figure it out.
What's your confidence that it's gonna end up as a positive?
I'm not, I decline to answer that question.
So we're making a decision that may actually still not make us compliant. Our vote, if there isn't enough money in the surplus, still won't make us compliant, because you won't have enough to address the deficit.
You'll be compliant with the law that says you have to vote your transfers by July 15th. That's the law you need to be compliant with today.
But you also have a law that means you can't go into deficit.
Yes. So we're gonna hope that we're not going into deficit.
And that was the law I was talking about when you were in deficit in May. If, say you were still not compliant with that law, not the, you can make your transfers up until July 30th.
You can be in deficit in one line as long as you're not deficit
In the
in
bottom
what
line.
was voted.
On
So
that
like,
department, not the
on
whole
that
general
department,
fund.
yes, on
Okay.
that department, yes. So,
I'm just trying to clarify what I was asking.
Yep.
because
Yeah, and we
apparently-
did tell department heads to stop spending, so that's why potholes didn't get attention for 6 weeks in this town, because we told them, don't spend.
don't
You're
spend
already
much,
upside
you
down.
absolutely have to.
So we did tell department heads, stop spending, and here we are.
And I do appreciate that, and I remember that coming up at a meeting.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not suggesting that you weren't doing your best.
Yeah.
I also know there's the other side of that where I hear your point. It wasn't budgeted enough,
Yes.
so there's
True.
this thought that it's not the department head's fault. But there's also a piece where, whether you like it or not, the town said you can only spend this much, and you've gotta do what you can to do that.
Yeah, and that's when we
And
don't
so
fill
ultimately, it is the fault of all those paid to not spend more than you're allowed to pay, without coming back for special town meeting or something else to approve it, or if there is money in that expense account, that emergency, I think we can get together and say, move the money. You would make that attempt to at least cover whichever one you thought was coming. I'm not trying to blame people, but I'm just saying that is definitely a perspective out there, where when you say it's not somebody's fault, it's like, well, you were given a budget and you spent more. It was your budget to make that decision. And so it is hard to just say it's not someone's fault, because that's back to the lack of accountability. Who owns the budget?
What I meant by accountability was, it's accountability on both sides. Like, it's our responsibility to set a budget that's reasonable, looking at what's going to be spent and what the town needs. We need to look at, if we want staff to stay, if we want good people to stay and work for the town of Barre, we need to pay them a wage that will entice them to stay. So I think it's both ways, and then we also need to be hiring folks with the talent to look at the budget, to know where there's wiggle room and what changes can be made, and to work within the budgets and get creative sometimes. So instead of looking back and seeing at maybe all the things that were done wrong this year, we can look ahead. I love all the changes that you've mentioned. I like the plan that you have for the next few years. Let's communicate, let's all make sure that we're having productive conversations, so that we can work together, not just for the residents of Barre, but for the employees.
My statement wasn't to undermine the move forward together and do better. It was more to just say, in that process, recognize you're still accountable for that decision moving forward.
Well, and I think
So
when,
if it ends up,
Listen,
the budget is
okay,
the
let's
budget.
sit and do the blame game, and let's just say.
I'm
it's-
not blaming, I'm
no,
talking about moving
well,
forward.
okay, but
If we repeat this, I will then say,
Okay.
why didn't we keep the
I
budget?
would just say, in the last, okay, year and a half, okay, or just say even a year, we have pretty much roasted out anybody and everybody who was not doing their job. And that was unfortunately, okay, more than one hand, okay? And it cost us money, time, effort, and struggle to make that happen. We had to grapple with the Inspector General's office to the point of almost, tearing your hair out. And we did that with the help of attorneys and great support and help from Melanie. When Melanie rolled in the door, she said to me, as we were setting her salary, she said, Maureen, we're probably going to have some people that won't be here after the first year. Well, the first day we were
She
here,
said
we
that.
walked some people
I forgot I said
to their
that.
cars with the
You
police.
said that.
Okay, so I'm just telling you that to sit around and think that what happened in the last 18 months was normal, it isn't and wasn't. It was the result of numerous years, many years.
Many years.
Okay, of whatever. I can't fix what happened 10 years ago, 5 years ago, whatever. But moving forward, we've made some really fine and I think brave decisions. Because we've made people very unhappy at times and thinking that we were just marauding around here with a machete. And that was not the case at all. And I think the support that we have received from having someone who was with us, with the expertise and so forth, to do the job. Because before that, we had no expertise around us about this kind of job. I can run schools, I can do that. But when you come to the amount of different responsibilities you have in this seat, and with nobody sitting around here saying, oh, I have a lot of skill and talent in that and I'm willing to come in and work for free. No, the lawyers don't work for free. The people coming in from the Department of Revenue kind of work for free from our perspective, but made it very obvious to us that we had to make some very difficult decisions. And it cost money sometimes to move people along who had been here for a number of years and never really been evaluated. And then to kind of start evaluating them, and they're going, well, what is this? And you and I both know, I know how to fire people. I can do that. But, when you do it, if you haven't done your due diligence in the public sector, it is not walk up to Mr. Smith and say, hey, see ya. There's a lot of background work that has to be done. Melanie has been an amazing asset to us. and an individual who, without her, I don't know where we'd still be. So I just say, I'm not looking back. I don't care what Matt did in
Wasn't either.
15 years ago or what I did in 15, it doesn't matter. What only matters now is what we do together to move forward with the right leadership. And I,
I also think as we first started the first budget meeting at the end of last year, we sat here and said, we're screwed.
mm-hmm,
We're firing a lot of people.
yep,
And we expected, by the time we got done, that a whole lot of people in this town were gonna lose their jobs. And that we weren't gonna have police at night. We sat here and talked about it. And I think collectively, between the finance committee, the select board,
Melanie?
that wonderful person right there
Yep.
pulled off miracles. Because she crunched the numbers and she crunched them and we sat here talking about it, we discussed it. All of the department heads came in, they were made aware of what the situation was. They came back more than once and said, here's our new numbers. And by the grace of God, we went to town meeting without letting anyone go. And at the last minute, that one part-timer that was gonna be let go
Yeah.
got to keep her
Yes,
job.
Yeah.
she
Got to
did,
keep her job.
she
So-
did.
You know, did we go from negative to positive? I think we did.
We did, but I think we're gonna go back to negative, and I think that when we do the FY '28 budget, we really are going to have to look at what we're going to fund appropriately
Right.
and what we're going to have to let
Right.
go in order to do that. We can't keep everything and keep stretching it so thin so
Right.
that we spend into deficit. We can't keep doing
Right.
that.
And
So
we
there are
talked
hard
about that.
decisions. As people come in, as departments come in, you're gonna have to be prepared to have these discussions and say, we might have to cut this funding.
Well,
Um,
we're probably one of the few towns that hasn't made significant reductions in their police, their fire,
Yeah.
et cetera. We have not. And we have, 24/7 police protection. We have things that other towns around us do not have. And we've been able to hang on to that. I think that's what the public wants and has an expectation about. But as you point out, I don't know. With, health insurance and other, benefits.
Can I ask a rabbit hole question about the health insurance, and you can tell me that I can't ask that here. But is Barre part of Maya,
Yep.
and do we combine the town employees' health insurance with the school?
No.
Or is that
No.
not okay, cause it's a regional school
Years ago,
district?
the schools and the towns were together. And then, I don't remember what the reason was about that, but obviously the school has a lot of employees. And Hubbardston hung on with the school district for a long time. But we could run numbers on that, whether or not that would work for either
It would
either
not.
group.
Don't do it.
Okay, don't do it.
That's your answer.
But,
Because then you're part of everybody else's claims.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
yeah.
It's a claim thing. You don't wanna be a part of everybody else's claim.
But anyway, I think we're ready to vote.
Yes,
At least
can
our
we
board
make-
is.
yeah.
And Melanie, could you once again, for the,
Oh, gosh.
of putting the
I'm
motion,
writing it down. So I would make a motion,
ask us to make a motion to.
approve end of year transfers
And/or
and/or journal entries for FY '26 as presented by the TA.
Second.
We have a motion that's been
Make the motion.
presented by the town administrator, and
One of you has to make it.
Yeah, no, I know.
Move to
No, I
approve.
know. I know. I'm just being
the
funny.
FY '26 end of year transfers and/or journal entries as presented by the town administrator.
Second.
we have a motion made and seconded to accept and approve the transfers recommended by the town administrator. Further discussion? Hearing none, those in favor?
All right.
Aye.
I think it's your show.
All right, I make a motion to accept the interdepartmental transfers and/or journal entries as presented by the town administrator.
Second.
Have a second, motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
The fiscal year 26 one.
Oh, fiscal year '26.
Amended as fiscal year
Oh, okay.
'26.
I just had one question about that, and it's not a big deal, 'cause
Yeah.
I think you mentioned it, but whatever the end result is, you'll present the accounts that were in deficit, the accounts that were
Yes.
positive,
Yeah.
and then the total balance,
Yeah.
and then present that
Yeah.
to us at
Yes.
some point.
Yeah, because I think, and it won't be tomorrow because I'm leaving
Oh, yeah.
at 4:30 in the morning to go to Maine tomorrow, so it's not gonna
Enjoy.
be tomorrow. But I think that it would be more of a benefit to let Elizabeth make you a pretty spreadsheet for what I did, and then I will
You'll
send
be
that to
happy
you
with
guys.
that.
So, and I thank all of you for going through this painful process. I assure you this will not happen next year, but I appreciate your patience very, very much with
Compliance
this.
is a good thing.
Yes, it is. Compliance
Oh my gosh,
is a very
no
good
one
thing.
thinks that except for me. Not bad. I'm vice president for
Um,
Good?
I
Can
think
adjourn?
we're ready to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second?
We have a motion made and seconded to adjourn. We're adjourned.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Sam.
Sam.
Good night, Sam. Thank you for coming.
I'm good, man. Keep up the good work.